morning, students. I'm Dr. Kgabo, your lecturer for TPF3707, which is a teaching practice module for year 3. Kindly see on the screen my details, my contact details, that is my telephone number and my email address, which you need to use to contact me. When contacting me, please use, you must include the module name, your student number for all communication. It is further important that you have the following at hand: your tutorial letters 101, 102, 103, and 104. Currently, some of you do not have hard copies because UNISA was unable to dispatch because of the lockdown. Once the lockdown is over, you will get your hard copies. But for now, during the lockdown, kindly go to my UNISA and download all the tutorial letters that you need, especially 103 and 104. What are the expectations during this presentation? I need you as students to fully participate, to ask questions for clarity, to complete all activities, to have a clear understanding of the module. And my wish is that you master this module TPF3707, and also that you familiarize yourself with the link theory modules, which are 6. And after all this, once you have completed your assignment, you need to submit online. Furthermore, as I've already welcomed you for teaching practice, I want to inform you that teaching practice is the core of our teaching education program. And we will do our best to make your teaching practice experience interesting, rewarding, and successful. The university is fully aware of the challenges of completing the assignments during lockdown. The university is currently talking to the relevant authorities in education to come up with a plan for going forward. The university has vouched and will keep you informed of any new plans put in place to address the teaching practice issues. Remember this, that this presentation is just one of a series of presentations that I will present to you on the content of TPF3707. Furthermore, theory module lecturers will also make presentations to familiarize you as a student with the content of the theory modules which are linked to TPF3707. In this presentation, I will basically focus mainly on administrative aspects of TPF3707. What does this module entail? TPF3707 is an essential part of the initial teacher education programs. Teaching practice is the culmination of everything that you have studied and need to put in practice as a eligible teacher. It is a work-integrated learning module, which means it is based on your teaching practice. It is the main focus. The teaching practice module forms a part of series of learning situations for prospective teachers, which you are one of, in which they are systematically confronted with or have the opportunity to carry out teaching and classroom management activities, which you are going to carry out under the supervision of experienced teachers and mentor teachers. What is the purpose of this module? The purpose of this module is to grant you opportunities to acquaint yourself with formal teaching, to be in a practical school situation, to grant you opportunities to apply the theoretical knowledge, and finally focuses on the practical application of the various teaching and learning strategies. Here are the administrative aspects of your TPF3707. TPF3707 builds on all the modules in your B.Ed program that you should always be cognizant of. It also builds on teaching practice 2, which you must have completed before doing TPF3707. Teaching independent teaching, which means you are not independent, but you are going to work with the mentor who will be supervising you and guiding you. It provides guidelines for a 5-week placement in a school and focuses on semi-independent teaching. You as students have to plan a series of lessons outlined in tutorial letter 103 and 104. It is also important to reflect on the preparation with a teacher. You as a student will then independently present lessons under the supervision of the mentor teacher. You and the teacher will reflect critically after the presentation. This process will be continued for 5 weeks in a school. Now, what is the practical information of practical application of TPF3707? This is a 5-week teaching experience, and you will be based in grade R1, 2, 3 classes, which is the foundation phase. And during this 5 weeks, you will have to complete assignments 50 and 51. What is the practical application again? It means in this 5 weeks, you'll spend 2 weeks in grade R, 1 week in grade 1, 1 week in grade 2, and 1 week in grade 3. Placement requires you to be in a school for 5 weeks consecutively. You need to present lessons under the supervision and observation of the mentor teacher. Hence, we call it semi-independent. You will then, after presenting lessons, reflect critically on the lesson plans and practice consultation with a school-based mentor. That is important. You cannot work independently without the mentor. The difference between teaching practice 1 and 2 and 3 is that in teaching practice 3, you are expected to arrange with a mentor teacher. You arrange with the mentor teacher, you prepare lesson with the mentor teacher, and you present the lesson with the mentor teacher. The focus is on semi-independent teaching. You are not totally relying on the teacher. The teacher is there to guide you while you are presenting lessons. You also need to take responsibility for some of the activities during your teaching practice, as you will be teaching some of the lessons on your own. The activities are all semi-independent teaching, and they are all aligned with specific teaching subject. If it's maths, it will be aligned with the maths. If it is language, it will be aligned with the language, and also the methodology. And it needs to take place in grade R to grade 3, which is the foundation phase. You are expected to plan a series of lessons in workbook 50 and 51 with the support of a school-based mentor. Teach the lessons while being observed by the mentor, and reflect critically on the plan and practice in consultation with your school-based mentor. You need to read tutorial letter 101 regarding all the submission requirements of assignments and the tracking of your assignments. Furthermore, once you have completed your teaching practice experience, you will then have to submit workbook 50 and 51 online, not hard copies, and they're all based on the lessons that you presented during the 5 weeks. The requirements for TPF3703 are these. It is 5 weeks of teaching practice that you should know, and kindly ensure that you read all the tutorial letters. Tutorial letter 101, tutorial letter 102 is about, tutorial letter 101 is about submission of assignments. Tutorial letter 102 is about the placement in schools. Tutorial letter 103 and 104, it's the content which you have to complete as assignments. Complete the 5 weeks consecutively, which is 25 days, and then after completion, submit workbook 50 and 51. You should not complete, should you not complete in the total of 25 days weeks, your degree will not be awarded. Remember, all this the presentation is doing is to tell you of the information needed when you are in a normal environment. However, because of the lockdown, you need to know that the university is fully aware, and they will inform you of any changes which might take place once the university has met with other authorities in education. It is also important that you know that during the teaching practice, you will have to be monitored. This monitoring takes place from the teaching practice office. All the students who have to complete teaching practice are monitored, and kindly ensure that if you are working outside the education sector, you will need to apply for leave. You arrange your own leave. It is not the business of the university to get into matters of arranging leaves for you. If you work in a private sector, make sure that you use the school holidays or the private school holidays and that they fit into your program. I will further emphasize this. It is important that you arrange your own leave to suit the dates where you have indicated that you will do your teaching practice if there is no lockdown. We do not allow, the university will not allow any reduction in the 5 weeks per module. It is extremely important. Now, there will be disciplinary steps taken if found that you as a student have forged teaching practice. You will face disciplinary action and maybe may also face suspension from any further studies with UNISA. Also, if you have found that you have plagiarized other students' work, that meaning you have copied other students' work, disciplinary actions will be taken against you, and note that this is regarded as fraud. Tutorial Letter 103 and 104 contain essential guidelines for your teaching practice. So it is important that you read it like you would read a Bible. You will also find the teaching practice assignments and instructions on how to prepare and submit all the assignments in Tutorial Letter 103 and 104, which is Workbook 50 and Workbook 51. Included in these workbooks are general administrative information. Now, regarding assignment 1, some of you might have completed assignment 1, and I'm going to quickly take you through assignment 1. In assignment 1, I would like you to look at the details as follows. There's a unique number and a date of submission. These are the following information that you have to complete. Write your student name and surname, your student number, your title, postal address, your email address. Now, it is very important that you generate My Life account, because as a university, we are not going to communicate with you on any other platform except My Life. So it is imperative that you have your My Life account active. Also state that you are permanently employed at the school or not, if you're an intern or not, or if you're working outside the education sector or not. You need to write the principal's name and surname, the contact details of the principal, as well as the mentor teacher and surname, the contact details of the mentor teacher, the dates on which you will be conducting teaching practice. It is important that the dates amount to 5 weeks or 25 days. If not, you will not be given access to this. You will fail this module. It needs to be 25 days and no more, or no less. The school name, the school address, the province where the school is located, the telephone number of the school, the email address. Important again is the signature of the principal, the signature of the mentor, as well as the school stamp. Assignment 2. Remember, assignment 1, you complete before going to the school. Assignment 2, you only submit assignment 2 if and when you have completed your teaching practice, not before. Because the information that you have to give here is of the school and of the experience, and it's the principal and the mentor who are writing about you, having observed you during teaching practice. The name of the principal, the name of the school address, the province, the name and surname of you as a student, your student number. Important are the dates on which you will be conducting the teaching practice. I know by now that this might sound confusing because we are all under lockdown, but this is under normal circumstances. I will keep reiterating this. I will keep emphasizing this. I will keep repeating this. This only happens under normal circumstances. Now, here, the principal is requested to complete the following questions as honestly as possible. Did you personally meet the student in your office? Did the student discuss the dates of teaching practice? Were the requirements of UNISA teaching practice explained to you, principal, by the student? Were you provided with the necessary tutorial letters explaining the rules of teaching practice? So you need to share all your documents, tutorial letter 101, 102, 103, 104, with both your principal, the principal where you are conducting your teaching practice, and the mentor teacher. Was the student provided with a mentor? Does the school have a mentor program? Did the student dress professionally? Please remember, you are an upcoming teacher. Dress accordingly. You are a dignified student. Do not go there being slothful. Be presentable in your appearance, please. Be neat and tidy also. Was the student on time? Punctuality is important. Don't arrive at school with the students when the bell rings. Be there longer than the teachers, 30 minutes before school starts, and spend the entire day at school. Did the student attend the duration of the school day? Do not leave when the lesson ends. You are there until the end of the day at school. Remember, you are a forthcoming teacher, and you need to be at school all the time, throughout the day in the school. Was the student actively involved in school programs? For example, extramural activities? It is important. It is vital that you participate in extracurricular activities. Lastly, you need the authentic school stamp. The mentor report. I took you through the principal report, the mentor report. Your mentor, who was assigned to you by the school, who is school-based, need to complete this form. The name of the mentor teacher, the name of the school, the address of the school, the province where the school is located, your name and surname student, your student number, the dates on which teaching practice is taking place. It is important. Remember, 5 weeks, not less, 25 days. And your mentor teacher will complete the following. Did you personally meet the student in your office? Did the student discuss the dates of teaching practice? Were the requirements of UNISA teaching practice explained? Were you provided with the necessary tutorial letters explaining the rules of teaching practice? Also, like you did with the principal, it is important that you give the mentor teacher tutorial letter 101, 102, 103, and 104. Let them go through that with you. Familiarize them with what you are going to do as a teacher. That is important. Don't leave them in the dark. No, that is not allowed. Was the student provided with school time and term planning? School time meaning, what time does the school start? What time does the school end? You will be also expected to do break time duty, like the teachers. Remember, you are an up-and-coming teacher. You are training to become a fully fledged teacher. So you have to participate in the whole life of the teacher, of the professional life of a teacher in a school. Was the student provided with a term planning? You need to have that term planning because you are going to use that to plan your lessons. Do you have a structured mentor program at the school? That's the mentor to answer. Did the student dress professionally? So they are there to observe you, not only academically, not only with your studies, but also morally and welfare-wise, and your appearance. Be neat, please, as a student. Take pride in your appearance as a student. I'm not saying go and buy new clothes, but use the very clothes that you have, but dress in a proper manner as a teacher would you be interested in completing a mentor program? That's the question we are asking the mentor teacher. Importantly, the mentor teacher must append the school stamp there and the signature. Now, attendance register. Student, it is vital that when you submit workbook 50 and workbook 51, all these workbooks must individually have the attendance register. Don't wait until the last day to complete the assignment, the attendance register. Start with it from day one when you arrive at the school. Look what happened during the lockdown. Some of you students were already busy with teaching practice. If you had not completed the dates, where would you be? If you would not have completed the attendance register. So every day ensure that you complete the attendance register. And this is how it is. You write your name and surname, your student number, the school where you are practicing, where you're conducting teaching practice, the address of the school, the contact details of the school, the email address of the school, and there it says week 1. You put the day. You see it say day 1. You put the day. If it is today, the 5th of May, you put the day, the 5th of May, the grade where you will be. Remember, we start with grade R and we go up to grade 1, then grade 2, then grade 3. Grade 1, grade R is 2 weeks, grade 1, 1 week, grade 2, 1 week, and grade 3, 1 week. Grade 1, 2, 3, it's 1 week each. Grade R, it's 2 weeks. And your mentor teacher must sign. Do not forge the mentor teacher's signature. That is fraud, and you will be penalized for that. You do that for week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5. Look at the end. Now there is a declaration by either the principal, the head of department, or your mentor teacher who will complete the declaration. There they will state who they are, and after stating who they are, they also write that they are confirming that you, student, writing your full names and surname. I would also like if they want to put in your student number. I know it's there at the top, but they can do that too. And they will put in the date when they completed this attendance register, their signature, and importantly, you should have the school stamp. No school stamp means you did not. If you don't have a school stamp, it means that you did not complete your teaching practice. So all the time where it says school stamp, kindly append the signature. The principal should append the signature, or the mentor teacher or HOD, and also put on the school stamp with the correct dates. Now, the placement procedure, it's something we should have been done long before the lockdown. But if it wasn't done, it's still fine. We are there to support you. We are there to help you to successfully complete your studies. Now, when completing this practice placement form, you as a student need to complete the DSAR 25 placement form. It's your placement form if you are in South Africa or locally. If you are overseas in any country outside South Africa, you will have to complete the DSAR 27 form. 25, DSAR 25, it's for local South Africans. DSR 27 is for international students. Let's look at the DSAR form. Look at it. Basically, it is like assignment 1. You need to put in your student number and tick the module that you are registered for. In my case, it will be TPF3707. That's where you have to put a big black cross. Mark the province where you will be conducting your teaching practice. There are the provinces. Student, please do not send this form to me. You send it to the person in your tutorial letter 102. Every province has been assigned an individual with a telephone number and an email address. The telephone number is a landline, not a cell phone of the individual, the official. Complete this form and send it to the relevant, correct individual of the particular province that you are going to conduct your teaching practice at. You name the school, as I said, where you intend to do your practice, the city, the contact details of the school. If you're employed at the school, state that by putting a cross at yes, if not, at no. The mentor teacher's details are also important. And also it is important to tick when you will be going for your teaching practice. Obviously, February, March, April, May, and June are out. Maybe, and I'm saying maybe, it might be July, August, September. We do not know as such. But when you have to come and complete this form, complete the relevant dates. Those who had already submitted their DSAR 25 forms, I think you will have to resubmit once the lockdown has been uplifted. You will have to resubmit your DSAR 25 or DSIR 27, depending on where you are and the dates which will be relevant. And also, this will be aligned to any announcements, if there will be any, from UNISA regarding the future of teaching practice. Once you have completed that, it is important that we get the school stamp also, signature of the school principal, and the date. Importantly, please note the teaching practice schedule. There it is for you. I'm not going to go through those teaching practice schedules. I am in third year. I will only deal with the third year one, TPF3707. Okay. Now, the period we live, they are no longer relevant because of the lockdown, which has totally changed our mode of operation. DSAR 27 for international students is nearly the same as that of the local students, DSAR 25. So the procedures that were followed for DSAR 25 are the same procedures which will be followed for DSAR 27 for international students. Remember, all this are what we call teaching practice placement procedures, and they are done by the teaching practice office. The teaching practice office will then verify, once you have submitted your DSAR form, be it 25 or 27, they will then verify the school information. Please allow them 10 or more days, because now we are working remotely. Be patient. They will come back to you. Let's be patient with each other. I promise you, you will not be in any way prejudiced. You will not be disadvantaged. We are there to support you, but please do the right thing. Don't take advantage of the situation. Do the right thing as a student. The teaching practice office, after receiving the DSAR form, will then capture the information on the system and, importantly, assign you to a supervisor. Once assigned with a student, with a supervisor, You as a student will be notified about the placement confirmation via SMS and my live email. Generate, activate your my live email. It is important. Please activate that. When you are going to start with the practical teaching as per the periods provided, you provided us with, you provided the university with, the supervisor will then contact you, the student, will contact the school regarding the visit, the date and time. You as a student should also contact the supervisor if the supervisor has not yet contacted you. So the supervisor will contact the school and the supervisor will also contact you regarding dates and time of the school visit to supervise you. Importantly, consult tutorial letter 101 for specific portfolio or assignment procedures and submissions. Once the supervisor has completed you, supervised you, it means you have come to the end of your, after you have completed your 25 days, then you follow the procedures outlined in tutorial letter 101 to submit your workbook 50 and workbook 51. You as the student will complete the school-based practical assignments, the portfolios, which are workbook 50 and 51, which are tutorial letter 103 and 104, and submit them before the due dates. For more information on assignments, please contact me. The first 3 slides of this presentation have got my contact details. Now you will note that when completing assignment 50, you have 4 theory modules which are linked to assignment 50. Dear honorable student, please take note of the following. Let's say you are doing emergent mathematics. The lecturer in charge of emergent mathematics is Mrs. S. Mahan. You will see there her telephone number and her email address. Ms. Mahan is in charge of emergent mathematics or EMA 1501. If you do not understand anything when preparing lessons for emergent mathematics, which is EMA, please send an email to the relevant lecturer. In this instance, for emergent mathematics, it's Ms. Mahan. There is her email address. CC me, please CC me in the email when you send it through to the lecturer. For mathematics for foundation phase teachers, it is Dr. RSS Mpahlele. Her email address is there below, and the theory module is MFP 1501. Any queries or anything you will need to know regarding MFP 1501, mathematics for foundation phase teachers, email Dr. Mpahlele and CC me. The third theory module is reading in foundation phase. The lecturer there is, the theory module lecturer is J.S. Ruby Nanan. Dr. J.S. Ruby Nanan's module is RFP 2601. I repeat, RFP 2601. Any queries pertaining to activities of this theory module, if you do not understand anything, any clarity seeking questions, send an email to Dr. Ruby Nanan and CC me. Lastly, in this workbook 50, home language teaching, which is HLT 3701. The person in charge is Dr. Ngema. Dr. Ngema's email address is provided for you. Dear student, let me take the opportunity of apologizing. Section D of book 103. It's HLT 3701. There have been some problems regarding this theory module, and it had to be redone or corrected. Dr. Ngema has done that. I posted it in the announcements, and the new amended or corrected section D of TPF 3703 workbook 50 appears online. Now, let me reassure you students who completed or did your teaching practice before the lockdown. Do not worry. Your work accordingly, the way it appeared in the previous workbook 50, tutorial letter 103. Please do not stress, do not be anxious. We will mark according to how it appeared. Then assignment 51, which is workbook 104. This is called the resource module. For resources, the person in charge is Professor C. Mayer. I do not have a telephone number for her, but I have an email address. Professor Mayer is in charge of the theory module RDF 2601. Any queries when completing the activities for RDF 2601, kindly forward them to Professor Mayer and CC me in all the communications, please. Last but not least, in assignment 51, workbook 104, we have inclusive education in foundation phase. The theory module's code is IEP 3701. The lecturer in charge is Dr. JMC Mutizwe. There is a telephone number as well as her email address. When completing any activities of IEP 3701 and you need clarity, kindly send an email, write an email to Dr. Mutizwe and CC me. Now students, once you have completed assignment 50 and assignment 51, once you have completed tutorial letter 103 and 104, you need to complete this declaration in each one of these assignments, in each one of the workbooks. The student declaration is highly important. If you are going to write false information, if you had plagiarized, if you had forged some students' work, you're going to be penalized for this. Disciplinary measures will be taken against you. And that's what we all want to avoid. You've come this far, please do not jeopardize your academic life and your future. Let's complete your work in a declaration. You need to complete this. You are going to say, I, Mulumgisi Minyama, declare that assignment 50 or assignment 51 is my own work, and that all the photos or ideas that I have used are all my own. Yeah? That's important. And you further declare that I have kept a copy of the workbook which I have submitted, and it is in safekeeping. After submitting online, do not delete. Please keep your original copies, save them, archive them until you get your results. Please, please. You are also declaring that I have completed the assignment during the 5 weeks spent at the school at which I was placed. You see, don't take chances. The lockdown took place on the 26th of March. It means If you didn't go to school before the 26th of March, you haven't completed your teaching practice. You are still in limbo, waiting for a way forward, waiting for an announcement what to do. But those of you who had already completed your assignment 50 and 51, your teaching practice, you are the ones who will submit, but also authentic work, original work. You are also declaring that I have not previously submitted this work or part of it for another assignment. Don't take work of another assignment, copy it, and make it assignment 50 and 51 for 307 TPF 3703. It will be found out, and the consequences are terrible, very painful. Be careful of that, student. I have not provided any fellow student with a copy of my workbook to use for his or her own assignments. As much as you like each other, as much as you are aligned to each other, please do not give each other one's work. It is wrong. You will then write your name and surname, your student number, append your signature, and the date. Students, I have come to the end of my presentation. Send me any queries on the email which I have provided for you in slide number 2. Any queries that you have regarding this presentation. And as I said before, once we have a directive, I'm going to repeat slide number 6, the universities during the lockdown. Assignments in this regard, we mean teaching practice, workbook 50 and 51 for TPF 3703, as a tutorial letter 103 and 104. Once the university have spoken and reached a decision with the authorities in education, they will come up with a plan and the university will inform you. So please be at peace. Be at peace, student. We are there to support you. And lastly, as said, this was the first, or is the first, of a series of teaching practice 3703 teaching practice, TPF 3703 presentation. Thank you. Best wishes with your studies, and keep abreast, familiarize yourself with your work. Thank you.